Hey, we're Aniplays, and today we'll be watching Classroom of the Elite. Labeled as a suspenseful psychological thriller, an anime which is going to be getting a second season after such a long wait. But it's been a while since we've all watched season 1, so we're here to recap the first season over 6 videos, 2 episodes at a time. Today we'll be covering episodes 9 through 10. If you haven't already seen our first recap of 1 to 2, go watch that before this. If you already have, be on the lookout for the rest. And without further ado, Class D reviews the resources they have been provided with, and they start planning for survival immediately, as well as some point hunting included. The group first considers what to spend their S points on, so it can serve them for the long term and make sure that it's an efficient boost in class points, as the S points are transferred over after the test into class points. The group then looks over what actions and events lose and gain points. A debate over toiletries starts. Would you guys be able to tough it out with only a basic toilet? Proving the test to be far more complicated than Suzune expected it to be. The group walks through the forest to search for spots which offer one bonus S point only if the possession is declared by the class leader. Though the 3 idiots of Class D depart from the group to find spots on their own to camp at. The main group stops for a moment to discuss the issue from earlier. They decide to disregard the toilet issue for now and focus on finding an area for a basic campsite. Various hands are raised as a sign of offering assistance to find an objective. The 9 volunteers split into groups of 3 and set off. Kouenji conducts his acrobatics through the forest, outpacing Kiyotaka and Sakura enough to vanish from sight and sound. The two find themselves alone and find a path that leads to a cave. The two conclude that it is one of the island's spot locations mentioned during a lecture by Shei Chabashira. What is also mentioned is that the bonus points given cannot be used until after the test on the island, and a few or more bonus points can be accumulated when a team identifies another class leader correctly, earning or losing 50 points whether they get it right or wrong. Recalling this makes Kiyotaka hide with Sakura when Kohei Katsuragi and Yahiko Tosutsuka exit the cave. Skeptical of his current surroundings, he tends to his suspicions by searching the bushes. Relieved to see nothing, the two depart, luring Kiyotaka and Sakura out of hiding, as the latter is seen heavily blushing and squirming on the ground from the experience. Kiyotaka and Sakura look around the cave, and afterward, Kiyotaka reports back to Suzune about their findings. The 3 idiots of Class D notify the members of the rest of the class a river with clear water is close by and they can have a campsite next to it. The group discusses how to possess the site with no issues. They decide to cover their leader, Suzune, when the site is being claimed every 8 hours. The group then questions the safety of the river, but Kanji supports the purity of the river because of his experience in camping trips. The group begins to build their base camp, and Kiyotaka, Haruki Yamauchi, and Sakura look for resources until they stumble upon a wounded Mio Ibuki from Class C. Sakura and Yamauchi attempt to invite her back to the campsite to be tended to, but not before Kiyotaka goes all Kushida. Mio is reluctant to accept their offer. Kanji sets up a campfire to light the impending night, to much applause by the group. The group then discusses how they'll spend their S points and predict how much they'll have in the end. The group celebrates their accomplishments on the first day with a feast of natural fruits and berries. This island is super fake. How do these fruits look better than the ones I get from the grocery store? The group discusses with Suzune on what to do with Mio, a Class C student. Kyoko Kushida comes over to give Mio some fruit, to the latter's surprise and her trust, and care for who is supposed to be her enemy. Suddenly, Ken screams Kouenji's name in anger to much distress among the group and comments about Kouenji's selfishness. According to Yukimura, Kouenji was apparently not feeling well and went back to the boat, which would mean the class would lose 30 S points. Kouenji is then seen climbing the anchor of the ship, conducting himself to the beautiful moon and the clear night sky. Ayano Koji and Suzune go on a reconnaissance mission to see what the situation is at other camps. Class B's camp setup is near a waterfall, operates much like Class D, but at a better location. Class A's camp is in a cave that is heavily guarded as Suzune attempts to take a peek, but she is turned away when Kohei summons his security force and warns her that her actions might start a war. Class C's camp is on a beach where under Ryuen's leadership all of the points are spent and the classmates treat this test like a vacation. Ryuen did this knowing that they will not be penalized if they had spent all of their test points. Due to this, he received backlash from some of his peers, which caused Ryuen to punish Mio for being disobedient and critical of his leadership. On the night of the third day, somebody breaks into the girls' tent at Class D looking through Mio's bag for her phone. On the fourth day, Class D does more reconnaissance to find out who the class leaders are. Ayana Koji and Sakura meet Ichinose at Class C's camp, only to find out that everybody except Ibuki had withdrawn from the test. On the fifth day, Kei Karu Izawa finds out that her underwear was stolen. Class D conducts a bag search and Yamauchi finds it in Ike's bag. Ayana Koji is forcefully given it and a pat-down search is conducted with Yosuke searching him. Yosuke reports that he does not have it, and afterwards he decides to take the underwear knowing that his girlfriend's reputation would be damaged the least for being the culprit because Kei is his girlfriend. Well, that's all we can show you for today. Join us next time as we cover episodes 11 through 12 of Classroom of the Elite. Aniplays out.